always wanted to be CEO. I'm not embarrassed to say that. Mostly because I used to lead student organizations back in high school and college. But now I see it as an obligation to take care of the 6,400 people under me. And if I think about it too much, it is very stressful. But I'd rather think of it as something that inspires me and gives meaning to my life.
I see it as both a blessing and a stress inducer, because like for example, I used to have much more hair when
Please don't get
when I really learned so much about the importance of the role, that it, as you said, Carl, it's really more than the business. It's about the people and their families and society. And if not for those, I don't think I would enjoy the role so much.
I avoid the big four because IQ is distributed around the archipelago. It's not concentrated in Manila. Nagkataon lang na some had the great opportunity to go to the best high schools and colleges and universities in Manila. But there are many more.
Nakakahiya siya, actually. I made a mistake in a financial model. I never forgot that moment. And I learned to double and triple check.
Either you want to be a CEO or a group head or somebody senior in the future, be an expert in three things. One, preferably sales, another operations, maybe risk management. But it's important to build expertise in three disciplines.
Have the mindset that you want the people under you to be better than you.
Hi, I'm Coral, and welcome to Breaking Ground, where we break down stories from up top and on the ground. For this episode, beside me are two gentlemen who, across their career, have exhibited excellence and unwavering integrity. And I think those two are very hard to come by in one person. So this is going to be a very interesting episode because we'll be able to pick their brains, not just in terms of career, but also life. So on my right, we have Nicolasia President and CEO, Mr. Martin Antonio G. Zamora. And on my left is RCBC President, author of Reinvent and Outperform, also a Surigao nun, Sir Eugene Acevedo. So thank you, sirs. Welcome to Breaking Ground.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you for accepting this invitation.
Sure.
So before we start, I'd like to ask muna, sirs, if you can tell us briefly about your career and why did you decide to take on the role of CEO? Because I think a lot of people see the benefits like you have power, you have people under you, you control your time. But I think on the other side of it is you're accountable to a lot of things. You're responsible not only to your employees, but their families as well.
Oh, yes.
So like if you make a bad decision, it can lead to really job loss or...
Sure.
Diba?
Sure.
The pressure is so high. So maybe we can start with Sir Eugene.
Yes, I was raised in Surigao, as Carl mentioned earlier. Then I went to San Carlos for my physics degree, then AIM for my master's. I became a banker through Citibank, 23 years. I've always wanted to be CEO. I'm not embarrassed to say that. Mostly because I used to lead student organizations back in high school and college. But now I see it as an obligation to take care of the 6,400 people under me and their families. If I think about it too much, it is very stressful, but I'd rather think of it as something that inspires me and gives meaning to my life. I think about it that way. So I'm more inspired than stressed nowadays, but the stress is still there, Carl. I admit.
How about you, sir?
Unlike Eugene, I don't think I thought of becoming CEO naman when I was starting out my career, because I started in investment banking and I was mainly a financial analyst. So I think the jump to management was difficult for me. Because in banking you just deal with normally a small team, and you're more or less, on an equal level. So it was not natural for me. The reason I became CEO is because it started more than maybe 17 years ago when my dad asked me to join the company. And he always told us that he did not intend for his children to succeed him. So it wasn't in my mind to enter this role, to assume this role. But similar to Eugene, no, after being in this role since COVID, since January 2020, I see it as both a blessing and a stress inducer, because like for example, I used to have much more hair when
Please don't get
yeah, when I became CEO. The first thing that happened to me when I became CEO was there was a volcano eruption, no,
Yes, sure.
in Taal, and then there was COVID, no.
Yes.
Yeah. So after that, I really learned so much about the importance of the role, that as you said, Carl, it's really more than the business. No? It's about the people and their families and society. And if not for those, I don't think I would enjoy the role so much if it was just pure business. No, so I echo Eugene. No? It's a blessing, and at the same time a source of stress.
So it's really about the people, sir. No?
Yes, yes, yeah.
Now that you said both of that, no, can you at least give us describe your leadership style?
Okay. So maybe I can start. I also have an issue with the hair part, but it was worth it.
Yeah.
I view my leadership style in two components. The first component has to do with people. The second about strategy. The one on people, it goes back to the first question. I think it's my obligation, in fact, a privilege to take care of people on a personal basis. The other thing is, which I take seriously, is to make sure everybody gets better at their jobs, to be trained. Anybody who comes in, especially from the lesser schools in the provinces, it's an opportunity to bring them up and compete with the best in Metro Manila. But what is more important is every 6 months or at least once a year, we take career development very seriously so that we can plan for the future of each individual, especially the bright ones under us. So to me, it's like a religion. Taking care of people, those three ways is like a religion. But I also have an obligation to make sure that jobs continue to exist and the business does well. So I follow this method of, it's called dynamic capabilities. It starts with making sure that I always know what's going on in the marketplace, what's happening to interest rates, markets, and so on, and find risks and opportunities associated with those moves, and make sure that whatever we have in the bank or in the company, whatever good things we have are sustained, and whatever parts that are potentially weakened are protected, so that the company keeps growing and moves up in terms of ranking compared to our competitors. So I'm sure Dennis has something similar. I split it that way to remind myself that it's like a double barrel gun that I have to carry all the time.
Wow, okay. You said something interesting about mentoring people from the provinces. Balikan natin yun later, sir.
Sure.
How about you, sir?
My leadership style is collaborative. I like hearing views of as many people as possible. I like to have honest conversations. So I really believe that sometimes the weakness of Filipinos, I think you sort of in a way talked about it earlier, no, is that they don't medyo nahihiya, no? They don't have confidence to express themselves. So I really encourage that, no, that even if I'm the boss, no, that they should tell me even if they're critical about something that I said or am planning to do. No, I am very. You would know by now, Carl, that I am very people oriented. That I like empowering people, and I think that myself and everybody in the company should be preparing the next generation to take over. So I think the mark of a good leader is one that does not hesitate to engage with people who are maybe smarter or better than them, and then is open to eventually passing the torch to the next generation. No.
Yung mentoring, sir, is very important, no?
Yeah.
When you're a leader. And you said something sa book mo, sir, na it's very important to have a mentor. That's why you have a lot of mentees, no? So siguro for the benefit of the listeners out there, are there qualities or skills that you think pag nakita mo yun sa person, okay, I'm going to mentor this person, this shows potential? May ganun ba, sir?
I have a certain bias.
Okay.
My bias is kids from the province, and second, kids whose parents never attended college.
Actually, sir, dito sa Manila, no, laging usually Big Four, ganyan. So I think that's interesting na gusto mo from the province.
I avoid the Big Four because IQ is distributed around the archipelago. It's not concentrated in Manila. Nagkataon lang na some had the great opportunity to go to the best high schools and colleges and universities in Manila. But there are many more. I could say, siguro 50 times more brilliant people from outside, and they never had the chance of being mentored by anyone. So I've been exclusively, for this year, I'm exclusively mentoring just those kasi I can see the immediate benefit of mentoring. What happens kasi in mentoring is they get to ask questions that they never knew they could ask somebody. They didn't even know that certain questions existed until the conversation start. So it's, to me, I go back to the word inspiring. No, actually, the young people, my mentees, they inspire me because I see myself in them, like as probinsyano back in 1980, and I can relate, and it keeps me young.
But ano, sir, yung mga qualities na
Yung hinahanap ko.
Yes, sir.
Oh yes, I am very picky. I look for leadership capabilities or evidence of leadership and academic excellence, or both. Either or somebody who's establishing a business, somebody who has the guts to establish a startup. Just those, basically those three. I know it's a lot, but I have the right naman to pick, di ba?
True.
And it's like picking stocks, no? It's like, buying shares of a great company, right? Like Nickel Asia. I have to invest my time well. And I can only handle 50 people at any time.
Dami.
Actually, I have 45 right now. It's a struggle, but I enjoy doing it. I enjoy doing it.
Actually, I don't really actively mentor people outside the company, but I think it's the reason I like your book so much is I think the inside me is a coach. So I actually took a master's in coaching in INSEAD. And I think it's something I'd like to do soon. No, sooner. I was gonna say when I retire, but I think sooner the better.
I also plan the same.
But I think, sir, you're kind of starting kasi di ba you piloted the CNAG program?
No, so inside the company, I do mentor people. I have the CNAG program where we bring people from here to the mine sites and from the mine sites to here, and then they get to learn what everybody's doing. But if you notice, I really enjoy yung mga coffee conversations natin dito where I interact with everybody across the company. And I can see the impact of that 1 hour is to people. No? And can you imagine doing it? How long is the mentoring engagement?
It's
A year?
It's a year,
Yeah.
about 4 or 5 interactions, and not counting the Viber messages.
Well,
Like, boss, I have an interview or etc. So it's like, I have a problem, then they see me.
Yeah, I think that would be very meaningful if I could do it outside the company. And I think what would make me a good mentor is that I really, number one, I really listen to what people are saying, and number two, I really think about what I will reply. So I really avoid, mga stuff other people have said, no. And I try to reflect. How does this question relate to something I've actually experienced in my life, no? And I think that's how you inspire people, no.
That's the formula.
Yeah, by pulling it from something inside you.
Yes.
Not something that you can
Yes.
search in Chat GPT, right?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's about the stories that we share.
Right. Right.
But I think you hit it on the spot. It's listening.
Yeah.
Listening is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Talking about stories, sir, no, I'm curious if there's at like early in your career, did you have a mistake or a lesson that you cannot forget that actually shaped the kind of leader that you are now?
Plenty.
So many.
Plenty.
Kakahiya.
Plenty. Embarrassing.
Oo.
Plenty embarrassing, but I think Ida you'll agree with me. It's just, maybe spend a weekend, mulling over it, and then you go on.
Yeah.
You go, I have at least 20 of those.
I have one. I have one. In my earlier career, nakakahiya siya actually. I made a mistake in a financial model.
Okay.
And then when we presented to the other party, it was apparent that I made that mistake. So I had to when I realized the mistake, I had to tell my bosses, and then they had to explain to the client. No, but why was that value important? That was in my 20s, early 20s, and why I never forgot that moment. And I learned to double and triple check everything I write, not just numbers. Everything I write, I became really good at preparing now. And the idea of complete staff work really sort of because of that one moment. No. So you will notice even today, I don't make mistakes when I send emails. I really double and triple check because I never forgot that incident.
Wow.
But there's so many more. You're right.
Wow. Yeah, I lost a lot of money. I think I will not say the number, but I lost a huge amount of money trading for Citibank. Because I forgot something.
Yeah.
I forgot a certain component in a derivative structure.
Yeah.
After that, Alana, I also do something similar.
Yeah.
I recheck the components.
Right. Right.
When you're young, kasi you sometimes have your level of confidence is not properly calibrated against your
skill.
Against your competence.
Yeah.
So now I think it's a good balance, and the way I make sure I avoid mistakes is whenever decisions have to be made, just like you, I'm collegial.
Yeah.
I listen to what everybody says, and it becomes a collective decision, although, of course, the accountability stops with me.
Right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. In terms of, I think both of you have that collaborative style of leadership, and both of you also went abroad for school, diba, sir? So I think it's safe to assume that that it's more different in an Asian setting to give negative feedback.
Sure.
So how do you navigate that as a CEO?
Lately I've been studying Philippine cultural traits very deeply. The concept of hiya, which we talked about earlier, the concept of samahan and bahala na. And I've realized that the hiya part has to be really managed. Now, you mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
We know that people don't like to talk. You have to take it out from them, and you have to prove it over months. Not just you tell them you can talk.
Tama.
Like everywhere I go, when I speak and then I wait for a few minutes and nobody talks. So it's better to engage in small coffee
Yes.
discussions
Yes.
where you talk like friends, and then you hear the real things happening,
That's right. Yeah.
the real things. So it's
So for you, sir, it's important that you set the environment that would.
yes. I set the example, or I model the behavior that other leaders would need to do as well. So kasi whatever I do, somehow it affects how my senior leadership team behaves, and I think it's important to model. But at the same time, as leader, there are certain times when I have to do discipline. If the opposite, for example, bullying, rudeness, arrogance is something that I see, I have to call it. I have to call the person and but give the person a second chance to fix, because one way to show that you're serious about something is to not tolerate the negatives.
Right. Okay. Well, for me, that's actually a very big challenge in the Philippine corporate setting. The hesitation to give, number one, to speak out, as you said. The other is to give negative feedback. No? So I think the way we go around that in this company is that we really are very specific about the goals and the attributes that we look for, the values. So at least it starts out with a objective criteria. So it's really hard to deny, to something that is in black and white, no. So, but that balance that you talk about between getting along and I guess doing things right and doing things fast is a challenge in this country. I'm sure every CEO has to struggle with that, especially with a company that is big, with a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. Going into smaller groups is one way to facilitate that, or even just one-on-one.
Yeah.
Kasi it's kept in private, no?
Yeah. There's much less hiya.
Yeah.
So when is it okay to let go of like hiya and then like letting it go?
I think it's always okay.
Yes.
You just have to keep reminding yourself that you're fighting against the cultural standard, no?
And you have to be consistent with it.
Yes, and you have to be consistent. And then if if people make mistakes and you call them out, then you should be ready to be called out as well.
Yes. Yeah. Because if I may add, it's whether we like it or not, that what psychologists call high power distance is still in us as well.
Yes.
We grew up with it. So
Yes.
in certain situations where you're not watching yourself, potentially you can regress back to it.
Yes.
So then you have to remind yourself, oops, what did
Because
I
it's
do?
easier that way. Yeah.
When that happens,
Yeah.
you apologize.
Yeah. Yeah.
When that happens, you apologize. You cannot just pretend like nobody saw it, because everybody sees it.
Yeah.
Especially if you're the CEO.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's go into AI and innovation. I think both of you see it as opportunities rather than threats.
Yeah.
But I think I want to ask how we make sure that we incorporate it in the business, but at the same time, not lose the human side of the company.
Yeah, I always go back to calculators and computers. When we introduced computers, nobody really lost their jobs.
Yeah.
They actually became better. A clerk became a much better clerk, an officer became a much better officer. The idea is to make sure that they're trained to use the new tools. For the same reason that we will be training people to use AI. Because AI is a fantastic opportunity to be more productive. And better than just being more productive, it's enjoying what you do as an employee. It makes, now if you want to compose anything, AI can do it for you. And you're like, wow, it's so easy. And you can concentrate on the more important things in your work. So it's actually, to me, it's a way of delighting employees rather than making them fear that they're going to lose their jobs. Because when we introduced computers in, I'll be dating myself, in the 80s, everybody learned how to use it. And it became a powerful tool. Because if you don't do it, your competitors do it, you will be at a competitive disadvantage. But to me, it's a source of delight. AI makes me happy, that's why I do it.
How about you, sir?
I completely agree. Whether we like it or not, we have to use it because our competitors are using it. No? So I don't think it's so important to debate whether it's good or bad, no, because it just is. No? So we have to accept it. So I guess what I would try to build in the culture is that if you're going to use AI, you have to check your work. Because not everything AI does is correct.
Yes.
Especially mga, if you're doing a report or an annual report, you use the help of AI for the industry study. I think sometimes it fabricates stuff now. But I think it's a powerful tool, especially in making operations more efficient. It saves you a lot of time in doing the analytical work, especially on process issues. No, I think that's where AI can be very helpful to us.
So it's really about that yung checking, sir, no?
Checking,
Not being too dependent on.
Yeah. It can hallucinate. That's the technical term they use.
Yeah.
I'm doing I'm studying again now, and whenever I use AI, I have to check because they can pick wrong things or invent things. That is why it has to be more you. AI is just a tool.
Tama.
Well, sirs, do you ever like Google yourself or type sa chat GPT na parang, what do you think of Dennis Zamora? Or what do you think of you?
I have never done it.
You've never Googled yourself?
No, I Googled myself. I didn't use it on like ChatGPT.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody did it in the bank, and there are like 3 or 4 versions of me that I went to Ateneo. It invents things, as Lenny said.
Yeah.
Well, if you Google yourselves, how do you handle if you see negative comments about you?
Oh, I had a number of that at some phases in my career. Or I put something and somebody criticizes it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm much less sensitive
Now,
now. I used to be more sensitive before, but I
sumasagot.
I still no, I avoid it. I just remember somebody said, if at least somebody's talking about you and the bank, it's more the bank I'm now eh.
Right.
I'm sure you feel the same way.
I do.
If somebody criticizes the company, that's when I feel, oops. But I have to think clearly. Kasi ganun talaga. We have complaints every day.
Yeah.
And I think this way na lang. I think that every complaint is an opportunity to wow a customer and turn him into a loyal customer for life. It doesn't always work, but it's a great opportunity.
Yeah, sure.
Ano na lang, maybe at 61 I'm less concerned, but I try to fix it as much as I can.
Ako, I do it by avoiding it. No, I don't Google myself that often. And I think I have a very good media team that tells me if there's something, especially Carl beside me. You guys are very on the ball, and I do rely on you to respond appropriately. But I agree with Eugene. It's not about me. It's about the company that I'm more concerned about. I don't think I would.
But you don't care if it's you, but if it's
I can't say I don't care, but that's mas importante sa akin yung reflection ko on the company. Yeah.
there's an interview with Obama where sabi niya, I think it's possible for us to get everything we want, but not all at once. Is that something at your age? Is that something that you believe in? And do you think like at this point in your life, you can talk to yourself and say, "Oh, I've actually gotten everything I wanted in different seasons of my life."
You know, that was me when I was 30 years old. But when I turned 40, it was more about my family. When I turned 50, it was more about the company, society. It's maybe what I want for others. Uh, it's not. It's less wanting it. It's more working on it.
And what are these things?
Like for example, my writing a book, my writing several books is because I wanted to share and help other people. My studying again because I think there are certain things that need to be fixed that are not properly fixed. I'm trying to figure out how to do it better. So it's more I have control over what I can do. So maybe I'll be able to fix everything I can fix, but one thing that I will probably be never able to fix will be social inequality, which to me is a big issue in this country.
Yeah.
But at least I will fix it for every single person or enable every single person I meet whose life I can change. Siguro, ganun na lang, no? So parang, instead of being overly ambitious, you limit your targets to those that you can really control.
Tama.
And then you make a bigger impact.
Yes, yes. It's like, it's physics. The same pressure, but a smaller group, your impact is much better. Sorry. I used to teach physics in university, so I was going back to that.
I don't know what Obama meant, to be honest, but I think that my answer is that I think it's possible to be very fulfilled with one's life. And for me, I think the trajectory of everything we do should always be towards getting better. No? So, for example, the company should get better under my watch, even if there are times where we have problems. I should be getting better as a leader. My kids should be better off as they age. No, so I think society as well. No, society, the people under me, I should have an impact on them getting better. So whether that means I get everything I want, I'm not so sure. No, pero for me, as long as the trajectory is towards a positive trend, no, then I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is actually an interesting question from Sir JB. Sir JB is
Hirap yan.
my boss, Senior Vice President namin, sir. He wants to ask about succession. So, RCBC is run by Yuchenko, sir, right? Do you see RCBC being run by a Yuchenko in the future? And then for Sir Dennis, do you see a non-Zamora leading NAC as well?
Yeah, it's we're quite democratic there, and I'm training a few members of the family, different ages. But the more important thing is the philosophy there. I've always thought that one of my biggest responsibilities is to make sure the succession plan is built in, and that we don't panic every time even a group head position is open. It is the responsibility of the leader to make sure there are several leaders who can jump in when the moment is right or should any emergencies happen. The reason why I'm quite comfortable, maybe that's the wrong word to use, is because I have a ready successor. And my ready successor has a successor under him. And
Is that public? The person?
I already have a deputy CEO.
Okay.
And I found him 2 years ago.
Great.
So I feel good whenever, I think it's part of my philosophy where I tell myself, I choose leaders who know how to build leaders under them. So parang it's not just me, it's even the people under me. I look for that skill. because then it makes it sustainable when down the line the same philosophy happens. And yeah, it can be anyone. And there are a few family members who are actively involved in running the company. So at some point in the future, who knows?
Yes, sir.
Well, the short answer is, of course, a non-member of the family can assume my role. No, I think there's several factors, but one factor is that my nephews and nieces are still very young. No? So there will be an age gap, if we were to turn it over to them. No, so by necessity, and I think not just by necessity, I think it's a good strategy to have non-family members taking the helm. No, now maybe a generation after that, we will see. No, na if so, I think similar to Eugene. No, it's possible that we will have a program for family members when they are of age, no, or if they want to, and then they have to be qualified and they have to be up to the task. I'm sure none of our shareholders would take anything less than that. No? Yeah, would accept anything less than that.
Speaking of succession, sirs, I think a lot of CEOs struggle with like retiring.
Letting go.
Oh, let it go.
Yes, sir. So,
Not a
Hindi natin
problem.
problema yan.
Not a problem.
but why do you think to some it's difficult and then for the two of you it's not a problem?
Let me put a guess in. I've always said that I diversify my sources of happiness.
Wow. Okay.
Parang ganon.
Yep.
Work makes me very happy. Being with people at work is one of my biggest sources of joy. But I also enjoy teaching, writing. That's why I'm taking my doctorate now. No? So who knows? I'll be a professor again. So it's and my cats at home. My sources of happiness are diversified. So anything can jump in. But I've always moving up in the corporate world. I've always made sure that I had a successor to replace me in so many number of years. When I was in Citibank, I always trained someone to take over my place. So every 3 years I would move because I could move because management is comfortable with the idea of passing on the responsibility to my chosen successor. So it's the same thing now.
Yeah.
It's the same thing now. I'm looking forward to my next, I don't know, 12 to 15 productive more years. I'm 61. There's just so much excitement.
Yes.
So much.
Ako naman, yes, similar, no? I think that we shouldn't retire too late kasi there's so much more we can do. Number one, we can always pass it on to somebody equal or better than us. So why hang on too long, no? The other things, while we're still able and strong, we can pursue other passions. So you mentioned your cat. So I am actually a budding, an amateur photographer.
Oh.
So that's why I was observing the cameras here.
Yeah.
That's something I would love to do, doing street photography or, yeah, that's my passion, street photography. I come from a family of public servants. So there's always a part of me that wants to go into public service, but for various reasons, I kind of don't want to right now. And then I think I can help with the family business even in the future, even not in the role of a CEO. So basically, as a board member or helping out in the family office, no. There's so much more we can do, and I want to spend more time with my family also, travel with them. There's so much I look forward to. No. Yeah.
Ang ganda, sir, when you said na we need to diversify our sources of
Source of happiness,
happiness. Kasi when we were thinking or conceptualizing this episode, the first thing that came to our minds was it's lonely at the top,
Ah,
right? Kasi when you're the CEO, who do you talk to if you have a problem? Like, you cannot tell your subordinates that
We
stressed
can.
ka.
Yeah, you can.
Really?
we can.
I have no problem with that.
We can.
Yeah.
I tell my wife. Sometimes my kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but do you need the I think this is something I read in your book. You said it's important na meron tayong BFF sa office.
Yes. There's this research kasi, I think it was Gallup that says, if a person does not have a best friend or several best friends in the office, that means they're not socially engaged. That means they don't like going to the office. That means every Monday they're not really like, what will I do in the office? No. So it's a measure of whether the person's going to leave the company soon after. In fact, it's a very serious thing. So it's a question I ask whenever I mentor somebody and he or she starts talking about problems. The first question I ask is, who do you have coffee or lunch with? Not even BFF. Who do you have lunch with? That's a very, and then, Carl, they will be like staring at me and realizing, I don't have lunch with anyone except
God.
myself. It happens.
That's sad.
And my advice is, then start making friends. Invite people for coffee, etc. Don't wait for people to invite you.
So I guess it's a misconception na pag CEO
Yeah.
ka,
Ako, I have no problem nga having, socializing, having coffee, chatting with a lot of people in the office. I think that it gets lonely for me when there's a very big problem. And even if you ask people what they think, at the end of the day, it's you alone who will suffer from that decision.
Yeah.
And that's when it gets really, so it's not loneliness na walang tao. It's loneliness that it's just your problem.
It's
And
your
I'm talking about really major.
how do you handle that, sir?
That's the difficult. Like yun nga, maybe I talk to my wife or I go to the gym. If I have a very big problem, I run. I run 5 kilometers. But whenever I have I notice kahit gaano kalaki yung problema, if you sleep a good 7-8 hours,
I was gonna say.
it dissipates. It's not as big as you thought. Diba? But anyway, that's when it gets lonely for me because I can't rely on anyone else to make that decision for me and then to face the consequences of that decision.
But you get inputs from as many people as possible.
But at the end of the day, when it's time to decide,
yeah.
it's just
you.
it's just you deciding. Yeah.
We have a question, sir. This is one of our employees. And I think kasi introvert siya. So
Okay.
she likes to ask if do you need to be an extrovert to be an effective leader?
I'm an introvert. I think you are.
I'm an introvert.
So we're both introverts.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
There's a book actually na introverts make the best
Really?
leaders, but I have yet to read it.
But why do you think is that, sir?
I think because you're humbler, and you listen more to people, and then you don't take up too much air, you don't take up too much space, So people feel more safe to, especially in the Philippines. I think being an introvert can actually be a good thing because of the hiya factor, If you're too, let's say you're an expat here, I bet you less people will talk.
That's
if you,
true.
If you have an overbearing style. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's that. You listen more
Yeah.
when you're an introvert. And then you process more.
Yes.
And I think in a weird way, introverts might end up making deeper friendships.
That's absolutely true. Yeah.
Oo nga, no?
Kasi fewer but higher quality.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oo.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Then in that small circle of introverts, everybody's an extrovert. When you pick,
Tama yun.
you pick a very small group and you're all out.
Okay, now let's talk into advices naman. First, Is there any advice that you would like to give to your younger self as you were starting in your career?
Ikaw muna. Wala akong maisip.
Uh, Listen more. It took me a while to understand that because in my job, my first few jobs required me to act like a Western executive,
Yeah.
and it was I was always on the go, moving, making a decision, and but oftentimes when I get evaluated by my teammates, they would say that I should listen more, but they also appreciated the fact that I made very quick decisions. It's the opposite end. So eventually, I found balance. So it's to collaborate more, to listen more. If I could do it all over again, that is what I would do
Alright.
as a young person. And one of the best ways to do it is to take a selling job or to volunteer for a selling position, because when you're selling, your ego is smaller than your customers.
Yeah.
Now you're pleasing someone, you have to manage objections, and it it teaches you skills that you will not learn in school. So I always tell young people, volunteer for a sales job. I had a sales job. I was already 30 years old. Then I think that was a major inflection point in my life in terms of behavior when I became a salesperson.
So maybe at one point, everyone at least should try
As early as
being in
possible.
sales, no?
As early as possible.
How about you, sir?
Ako, siguro I'll tell my younger self that you're better than what you think, no. So I think my confidence. I'm a bit of a late bloomer, no. So when I was starting out, I guess it's partly because I'm an introvert, and I would tell myself to get yourself more out there, no, either socially or even at work. And then I think a sales job would have been great for me to start out with. That's really good advice, actually.
It's in my
Yeah.
third book.
Okay yun ah. Yeah. Because sales, yeah, it really it develops your personality. It develops your skill at selling, and then your it exposes you to many people. I think that's a great book.
Thank you.
Coming up.
And I think yung rejection
Yeah.
also,
Yeah.
like when you want someone to buy and then they say no to you.
Yeah, it's resilience in terms of rejection. But they say nga, they have to be conscientious, you have to be resilient. But there's this third thing that research says, and it's parang moderately agreeable, which means people like you, but you have to remember that your job is still to sell.
Tama.
So otherwise, if you're very likable, you might forget that your reason for
selling
existence is to close a deal. And be moderately agreeable. So it's a nice balance.
I love that advice. Tell my kids to get a sales job.
So kanina, sirs, I asked you what advice you want to give to your younger self. Now I want to ask about the best advice you've ever received and who gave it to you.
Oh, I have like a lot. Let me pick one. Plant goodwill to harvest goodwill. Because many things are done through collaboration, through relationships, and it will not start unless you invest in a relationship sincerely, of course. Sometimes they don't reciprocate, then you do it again. If they still don't, then maybe the wrong people, then you keep doing it. I think I've built many successful and mutually beneficial relationships that way.
And who gave you that advice, sir?
It was Rodrigo Zuria, a Mexican, who was my boss in Citibank, Singapore.
Oh, wow.
Well, ako, it's I cannot forget what my dad said. So the first thing he said was never do a deal with the devil. So even if it's such a a good deal. No? If you're not comfortable with the values
Yeah.
of the other person,
Yeah.
there is no price tag
Yeah.
for you to do that. And then the second thing he said was, do not negotiate. It's a similar statement, but don't have a price. No. So when you negotiate, it should be about something else. No. And in that way, you'll be very hard to negotiate against. Because people, if you have a price, people can smell it. No. So I think it should, yeah, I really took that to heart now. It's values driven, the relationships and negotiation.
And the money will follow.
I think at the end of the day, you're a better negotiator because you will get what you want. Yeah.
Both parties will get what
Both
they want.
parties will get what they want. Yeah.
For my last question, sir, what advice naman will you give to people who wants to be an effective leader? Kasi I feel like the context and the environment now is much more different than before.
Yeah.
So, what advice can you give these people, sir?
That's in my chapter 1 of the book Reinvent and Outperform. Basically, what I say is either you want to be a CEO or a group head or somebody senior in the future, be an expert in 3 things. One, preferably sales, another operations, maybe risk management. But it's important to build expertise in 3 disciplines. No, if it's showbiz, it's called triple threat. You can act, sing, dance. Because leadership positions require a variety of skills now, and the best leaders are the ones who can pick from various disciplines and come up with great decisions. Plus, the added benefit of if you grew up in 3 different parts of the company, you have friends in 3 different parts of the company.
So it's important, sir, na you really go around, no, and explore. I think you also said something about it's a double-edged sword when you're in a specialization,
Yeah, it's
and then
yeah, it's a bit of a. The problem being very specialized is unless you have various chances of collaborating, if you can be specialized but you're helping many people out, and as in the process you learn many things. So it's really more. You can be specialized, but as long as you're learning things, it's still okay. But better if you are really accountable for something, whether it's the profit and loss accounts or real sales targets. You have to be accountable for something because accountability teaches you many things. Many things. It teaches you that you cannot sleep well because you have to think about things, that you have to run or swim. It makes you grow up very fast. But I always go back to, maybe to put it simply, be a triple threat. Be a triple threat.
I think to add to that, one thing that I would tell people, anyone, even when not just starting out, but today, you should learn to prioritize. No? So I really truly believe in the 80-20 principle. No? Na, you focus your efforts on the 20% that will deliver the 80% result. So I think that's one of the most important. You have to do the right things. No? You have to focus on the right things and do the right things. The other thing I would say is that you should have balance. No? So to be a good leader, to be a good boss, there should be other things that interest you. Otherwise, you will burn out, or you're not interesting. No. Maybe people will not want to work with you.
Yes.
And then the third is you always have to have the mindset that you want the people under you to be better than you. I mean, be open to it. No. So don't. Because why would that make you a good leader? Because the people under you will shine. I think that's our job. Our job as a leader is to turn it over to the next generation.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, I think that's the end of our episode. But
Wow, thank you.
before we formally end, we actually have a thing here, sir, sa Breaking Ground,
Okay.
where we ask our guests to write a question in this notebook. Thank you, Sir Jay.
One lang. One.
Yes, sir. Any question. But before you put your question here, you have to answer naman the question posed by your previous guest.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay.
Who was your previous guest?
Our previous guest is Miss Gang Badoy Kapati. So the question that she wrote here is, have you ever broken anyone's heart?
Oh my God.
Yes.
Okay, let's start with Sir Eugene.
The answer is yes.
Yun lang. No details to be
No
disclosed.
detail. No
I
detail.
have the same answer as you.
Okay.
Next question.
At least na answer. Okay. Hindi na tayo hihingi ng question. Okay, so for now, if I can ask you, sirs, to write your question naman. Okay, maybe we can start with Sir Dennis.
For the next guest.
For the next
The two of
guest.
us.
Yes, sir.
Hirap niyan, ah.
Oo nga.
Before we wrap this episode, Sir Eugene, would you like to tell our viewers how they can reach you? Baka gusto nila magpa-mentor.
Oh, I'm not accepting mentees anymore, but if you have any questions, you want to reach me, I'm on LinkedIn. I post almost every day. And if there's something that's disturbing or a question that you want somebody to answer or share with me, send me a note. I usually answer very promptly. I promise you, unless you're selling me something. Thank you.
Well, yeah, same. You can also find me on LinkedIn. Yeah.
Dennis Zamora or
Yeah.
Martin Antonio.
Martin Antonio Zamora.
All right.
Yeah.
And also, I want shameless plugging na rin. This is such a good book. Thank you, sir. So this is a book written by Sir Eugene called Reinvent and Outperform. But we'll be on the lookout for the next book as well. Sir
Yeah,
Eugene.
the next book is The Future Leader, How to Be the Next Gen CEO.
Galing.
All right. Thank you, sirs.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bye.